Joining us now to recap the Emmys. I guess we can do that. Variety executive editor Brent Lang. I guess we can keep it to streamers versus legacy versus linear, because I did see the first 5 minutes. I admit it, Brent. I'm not usually up that late, but they made fun of streaming. I think they said another way to lose money, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. But I mean, if you look at who actually won here, the streamers absolutely dominated. You had Netflix that tied with HBO and HBO Max with 30 wins. And then Apple comes in and gets 20 wins, including a record number for the studios. So I think it just shows that the momentum has really shifted here towards streaming players and away from broadcast, which was almost non-existent last night.
What won? I didn't look at everything that won. Did any of the linear offerings win? Has anyone watched that? I saw Ice-T interviewed before. And the guy called him a legend, and I'm like, I don't know. I've never seen SVU. Do people watch any of that? I'm old. I don't watch it.
SVU? Where do you live?
You would watch linear.
SVU?
You would watch linear TV on just a standalone episode about some stupid murder?
Yes.
I think I've seen
Where have you been?
I would watch a Dateline.
It's been going on for 2 decades.
years.
Are you crazy?
Is that a Dick Wolf?
Yes.
SVU?
Yes.
I don't.
Hi, Brent. It's nice to see you.
You haven't watched it in how long? When's the last time you watched
I haven't seen it in a few years,
SVU?
but I've probably seen all of them.
Much more recently.
You know where I've seen a Law and Order?
Where?
In Davos.
In Davos.
Okay. Well, then
I'm trying to read their lips.
You're way behind.
You know the difference? I'm not behind. I watch sports, which is something you don't have a problem with, obviously. But go ahead.
I want to know, Brent, about what the reaction in Hollywood is of Hannah Einbender, and I think there were a couple others. I was in Bardeen also saying "Free Palestine" on the on the stage. And then, meantime, you saw over the weekend, I think it was, or maybe late last week, Paramount actually coming out with a statement on the other end of things in support of Israel and against some of the actors and others who were trying to boycott using Israeli writers and other things.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an issue that's absolutely fracturing Hollywood right now. I mean, you have a lot of people who are very, very supportive of Israel and who really see this Free Palestine movement as being, anti-Semitic. And I think then you have another part that is really upset about the violence in Gaza and what's going on there. And you're having a fracture very similar to what's happening in the Democratic Party, but it's happening in Hollywood. And David Ellison, like the Redstone family, actually is a very big supporter of Israel. So I think what you watched last night is what's happening across the industry.
And is it fracturing what's actually happening in Hollywood, or is this just in terms of how we're seeing it play out? Meaning, are there projects you think that are either being greenlit or killed as a result of this?
Well, I know that there have been films that have not been submitted, that have not been accepted into film festivals. And I'm sure that there are certain projects that might have difficulty getting backing. And there also, may just be certain issues with talent. Certain people, because of their political persuasion, may have more difficulty getting backing.
Brent, also, I don't know if this is on your bingo card because I know you were coming on to talk about the Emmys, but the other big conversation in Hollywood right now is the potential merger, prospectively, depending on what you believe, of Warner Brothers, Discovery, and of Paramount together. What do you make of that? What are people saying?
Well, I think this is, potentially a very transformative deal. I mean, there's a lot of hurdles that still need to be overcome before that happens. It's unclear if this will be appealing enough to David Ellison. But, if you look at this, what they're trying to do here is really lean into streaming and compete with Netflix. So if you combined Warner Brothers and its library and Paramount and its library and its streaming subscribers, you'd have about 200 million streaming subscribers, which would be more than Disney and Hulu. It would be less than the 300 million of Netflix, but it at least gets you in stabbing distance there. I mean, I think the larger problem is just issues that are facing the media industry right now. And it's unclear if you can kind of manage the decline of cable, which is absolutely the major source of revenue for a company like Paramount, while transitioning to streaming, which is at best a break-even proposition right now.
Brent, what do you think the chances are that somebody else jumps into the fray for Warner Brothers Discovery? And I'm thinking to myself about Netflix. Would Netflix ever try to buy out all of Warner Brothers Discovery and then later on sell some of the pieces? Would the Netflix shareholders like that, accept that? I don't know where you think Comcast and potentially Peacock land in all this. I don't know whether you think regulators would allow that. How do you sort of square all those circles?
Well, I think you absolutely will have other bidders for this asset. It's just such an attractive asset when you look at the library and the legacy. I would say that Netflix has kind of avoided these types of deals in the past. They've kind of stuck to their own knitting. I'm not positive they would be interested in that, but I think you'd at least have other bidders, potentially Sony, Apple,
an Amazon.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazon, which has been more acquisitive, I think they could do something like that. And then you're absolutely right. I mean, what is the regulatory environment going to be like here?
None of that terrible linear stuff won anything, Sorkin, except for Matlock, which is ridiculous. But that's streaming now. That's not even on linear anybody. You know what won? Jeopardy. That's the only, and Stephen Colbert, so they could give him,
It's what you watch every night.
so they could give him a.
Okay.
Do you want to interview? Do you really want this guy?
Yeah,
Okay,
Brent, we're having a fascinating conversation about what's happening with these deals and what's going to happen here.
It's about Emmys. You love Emmys, don't you? Were you there?
I was not there. I'm here. Brent, in terms of these other players, do you think regulators would? I mean, it's clear to me that Paramount should have the angle on the regulatory front, given the Ellison family connection or just relationship with this administration.
You're going to ask poor Brent about crony capitalism. He's a variety guy, for God's sake.
Yeah, no.
All right, is it crony capitalism, Brent? You hate Trump?
I didn't ask him that. What are you talking about?
I'm not going to get into my politics, but I mean, I think what you're talking about, Andrew, is very illustrative. This is not a normal regulatory environment. When you're talking about people having really personal relationships with the president, and that will determine whether or not something stays or goes. I mean, that's a very different, uncharted territory. And when you look at how that Paramount deal went down, I mean, that is not a normal way that a deal gets approved. So,
yeah, but it does raise the question of once you start to see a media buying frenzy, does it change? Like you said, other people very likely could jump in. I think it may recalibrate how a lot of people think about all of these things, right? If there are a certain number of assets left, if the dance is on, the dance is on.
It's not unprecedented. I mean, Elon Musk didn't get invited to an EV summit from the Biden administration, all right? There's crap that's been happening forever.